Yes.
Okay, let's continue the session. And so in the last class, we discussed about the table creation, right? How to create the tables and what kind of precautions you have to follow before executing any query, where to execute the query, how to parse the query, how to select the database using GUI, how to change the database using query, and how to insert the records. All these things we discussed in the morning session. And we also discussed about the system databases. We also discussed about the system databases. Can we keep any system database offline, guys? Is it possible? Is it going to allow? If possible, which system database we can keep
No,
offline? If there is a chance, which system database we can keep it offline?
MSDB.
Okay. Just a minute, please don't mind. 1 minute. Hello? Right. So generally, it is not possible to keep any system databases offline, guys. Okay, so SQL Server will not allow you to keep any of the system databases offline. Fine. So now what we can do, we'll continue, we'll try to create one more table, okay? And we'll use some filter class like where condition and all. So that is very important. So 99% query side will use where class only. We don't use other classes based on the requirements. So we'll try to use some where class and all, okay? And then we'll start the patching today, okay? So you have to tell Harshankar. I gave you an assignment, right? MSDB stands for MS stands for in the MSDB. Anyone tried, guys?
Main storage.
Okay.
Microsoft
Microsoft
DB.
Microsoft DB, yeah. Okay. Next.
Yes, sir.
Main storage,
storage.
Microsoft DB. Next. Next. What else, guys? What else? MSDB stands for MS stands for Management Services. Next. Please be muted, John. John and others like
Main storage databases.
main storage. Okay, so I'll not tell the answer. Still, whatever you said, that is wrong completely, like whoever said. So that is not the correct answer, guys. I'm giving one more day. Just search and let me know. Okay, you will not get the answer in the internet also. Okay. If you go and Google it, you will get a lot of other things. Those are not related to SQL Server.
What is that?
Master database.
I just joined.
No. John, any question you have? No,
I was asking
my
that what
question
is
is
the question? Yeah.
MSDB, you know, right? MSDB.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is MS stands for in the MSDB?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that is the question. Okay. Take time. Let me know the answer by tomorrow. Okay. Right. Okay, fine. So let's continue, guys. So we'll discuss about the where condition and all, and we'll also discuss about the other small points related to the objects, and then straight away we'll go for the patching as discussed in the morning. So we'll discuss the patching sequence or patching today. Right. So now let's create one more table. This time we'll create the employee table, guys. Create Tell me guys, tell me the syntax. Create.
Table. Table.
Employee.
Table name.
Create table. Table name. Next. You have to define the columns, right? Can I create a
Yes,
table
sir.
without columns? Is it possible?
No.
Not at all possible. Okay. So can I create a table with a single column?
Yeah.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
No?
N.
Yes? No? Yes? No?
Yes.
Someone said no? Okay, so the answer is yes, we can create a table with a single column also. Okay, no issues at all. So employee ID, okay. Guys, some of you are already working. I know these are very basics to you, but 70% of the people, they don't know about these things. So that's why we have to discuss from the scratch. So if you know, just try to, I mean to say, just add few points in case if I missed anything. Okay, don't feel like it's a kind of a boring. You have to learn these things, okay? So that's why. So employee ID, we have to define the data type for this employee ID. So let's go with the integer. So first of all, again, in the organization, no one will ask you to create the tables. Why? Because we are not going to design the system. So developers will design, application team will design. So whatever requirements, which table we have to create, what kind of columns it should be, what kind of data types, okay? So everything will be defined by the developers based on the application team requirements. They are going to define it. So development team and your application team both will sit together and they are going to design these tables. What is the table name, what kind of columns, what kind of data types, okay? So all these things they are going to decide, and 99% is they only create, developers only will create the objects. Still, sometimes they might ask you to create, in case if anyone is asking you to create any table, simply ask, sure, I'll create it for you. Please provide me the script. That's it. There is no other words. Don't ask like what is the table name, what is the data type, how many columns you need. No. Simply, why? Because lot of other objects also will be there, like constraints and all, primary keys, lot of things will be there. So we are not going to decide anything, right? So in case still, if you are facing such kind of challenges in the organization, straight away, sure, I can help you on this task. Please provide me the table creation script so that I can go ahead and I'll run the script. Sometimes the junior developers might not have permissions. So they might reach out to you, to the support team, to the DB team to create the objects and all. But it's not like simply go and create it. You have to follow certain processes like change request and all. So based on that, we can go ahead. But again, you are not going to decide, you are not going to decide the table name or columns or data types and all. So script will be there. So the script they are going to provide, or they might ask you to follow any existing table structure. So you can generate a script of the existing table and you can simply rename the table and you can create it, guys. Right. So create table employee, employee ID integer, employee name. Okay. Name. So what I have to give, guys? What type of data type? Varchar of 100. Okay. Salary. Salary. Which data type is suitable, guys?
Money.
Int. Money.
Int.
Money.
Money.
We have separate data type. Okay. So no need to use int. Int also you can use, but int is also not so suitable. Salary, sometimes it can be decimals also. Okay. Like 55,269 rupees 0.50, something like that. So int is not suitable for that. Either float or money, you can go for it. And location. Okay. Varchar of 100. Sorry. Close it. Okay. Check the braces, guys, once. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. It should be odd or even number?
Even.
Even. Always it should be even. 2, 4, 6, 8 like that. Otherwise, if it's odd number, somewhere you are missing the braces. Okay, just check it. Now, can I execute this query? Can I execute this query, guys? Can you help me?
Need to parse.
You like to parse it.
Okay. So first I have to parse the query. Okay. So I can click on this parse button. Okay, and let's see whether this is correct or not. Yes, command completed successfully means what? The query is correct, guys. The query is correct. Thank you, Daddy. Correct. Okay, so now before executing, what we have to check again? The database name. Database name we have to check. So I'm just checking on which database I'm going to create this object. So I'm going to create this object in batch 57, or let's go with Amazon this type. This time we'll go with Amazon. Okay. So I'm just executing this query. Done. So query is executed successfully. And if you go and check Amazon, can I see the table, guys? Where is my table? Where is my table?
Refresh one section.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Akka? Am I created in the Amazon or any other database? So no, no response, guys. Why you are worrying?
In script, we have mentioned batch 57, right, Chanmukh?
In the script, I didn't mention anything.
Upside.
Where it was mentioned, batch 57. Tell me where it was mentioned.
Upside.
This one. See,
Yeah.
when I'm executing, I told you, right? There are lot of queries are there in this window, query window. I just selected this specifically. I executed this. If I selected this line, only this line will be executed. If I don't select anything, all the lines will be executed. In this case, even though I mentioned use batch 57 here, I didn't selected this while executing, so it's not executed. Only this line is executed. Okay, only this line is executed. So if you select the line and if you execute it, yes, both will be executed. But in this scenario, only I selected one line. So Anila saying it was already been executed on batch 57. Where it was executed on batch 57, Anila? I created one table, products table in the batch 57. That is a separate object. And I'm creating one more object, employee table, in another database. Okay, guys, don't think that as it is already mentioned, don't think it was executed. No, completely wrong. If I select the two lines like this, if I select, then these two lines executed, guys. Okay, if I don't select, it will not execute. Here also, I just selected this create statement only. I didn't select use database. So where it was created, tell me, guys. In the Amazon or batch 57? I don't want you to confuse, just refresh it. Whenever you are
Amazon.
doing anything, whenever you are doing anything, you have to refresh it. You have to refresh it. The table is created in the Amazon only. Right. So last time we discussed about the physical hierarchy. How the objects will be stored physically, right? That we discussed in the last session, last weekend. The SQL Server, inside that databases, inside the database will have file groups and log files. Inside file groups will have data files. Inside data files you will have extents. Inside extents we will have pages. Inside pages you will have tables. That is how physically the objects will be stored. But how the tables will be stored logically? How the objects will be stored logically? Okay. So how it will be stored logically, instance, inside the instance databases, inside the databases, there is a container called schema. Okay. Inside the database, there is a container called schema. Schema is a kind of a logical container. For example, HR related tables. Imagine HR related tables like HR side salaries tables, HR side attendance table, HR side allowances table, HR side expenses table. 1 minute, please. Yeah, 1 minute, guys. Just 1 minute. Right. Okay. So HR side, as I said, salaries, attendance, expenses, like other things like internet allowances and all if you want to apply. So I can logically group all these tables under one schema, under one logical container that is called schema. So the physical hierarchy is like databases, file groups, data files, extents, pages. This is the physical hierarchy. Whereas logical hierarchy is databases, schema, and tables. So by default, every table, when you create any table, it should be created in any schema. Without the schema, it won't be created. So that's why the default schema is a DBO schema. You can see here table name. Before table name, you can see one object called DBO. What is this DBO? This is the default schema. I didn't mention any schema name here. Simply I created. Simply I created the object. I didn't mention anything. But as it is a default schema, if you don't mention any schema, specific schema, then it will be created with a DBO. Under DBO schema, all the tables will be created under DBO schema if you don't specifically mention. If you want to create a schema, again, this will be done by the developers. Create schema, schema name. That's it. Very simple command. Create schema, schema name. If you want to create any specific table on a specific schema, the table statement on schema. If you just mention like that, automatically the tables will be created in the particular schema. So schema is a logical container of the objects. Every object will be stored in any of the logical container. So the default logical container, the default schema is DBO. If you don't mention any schema name while creating the object, by default it will be created in the DBO schema. Okay. You can also create the schemas. Specifically, you can create in case if you want to create any schema, you can also create the schemas using create schema name, guys. So now this is the DBO schema. So DBO dot employee. Even though I created employee table, but still it was created, okay, with the prefix DBO dot. That DBO is your default schema, database object. Okay, DBO is your default schema, guys. Now, I just created the table, right? Let's see how many records are there in this table. Okay, what we can do, let's see how many records. How to see how many records are there in this table?
Select star from employee.
That is the only way, or any other option is there?
Count.
Count function is there. You can use count also. Okay, as of now we didn't inserted any records, right? Let's go and check. Select star from table name. What is the table name? Employee. So now I'm executing this alt X. Okay, so now you see here, I just created the table with these 4 columns: employee ID, employee name, salary, location. You can also give the full name, guys, like DBO dot. Not required if it is a default schema. No need to give DBO dot. Sorry, no need to give DBO dot. But if it's a default schema, you can directly execute with the table name. If it's a specific schema, guys, you have to mention the schema name. If it is something HR dot employee, you have to mention HR dot employee. As it is a default DBO, no need to mention. But in case if you still mention also, nothing will happen. You can still execute it. That will be the same result. That will be the same result. 1 minute, guys. Please don't mind. Don't mind, please. Sorry guys, so sorry, please don't mind. Okay. Right. Okay. So if it is a default schema, no need to mention this DBO, but still if you mention this DBO also, nothing will happen. Okay. The same result you are going to get it. So now as we just created the table, no records are there, just it's an empty table. Let's insert the records again, like insert into table name, employee, values, okay, and then you can also enter here, no issues, values 1 comma, okay, I'll insert as per the participants, okay, I'll insert as per the participants. B, employee B, how much salary you want? B 120K, and from US, okay, okay, maybe B is busy. You are able to hear me, right? Or else she is calculating the expenses, right? Okay, so now second record, okay, let's go with Hari, please be muted if you don't have questions. Anila, and of course Anila, right? Anila means let's go with 100K, okay, Anila, UK,
Yeah, that should be fine.
fine, very good. Third record, and let's go with Farooq, and let's go with some 30 lakhs package. Farooq is from Pakistan. Okay, and let's go with fourth record, and let's go with the Gopi. Okay, and how much Gopi you want? 20 lakhs?
Okay, Shanmugh.
Okay. Okay, from India. And okay, fine. So now what I'll do, I'll go with the same record multiple times. Control V, Control V, Control V. And we'll also go with some, this is the fourth, right? Sorry, this is the fourth one, fifth one, and let's go with Kalyani. I'm just going as per the participants' names, guys. There is no partiality and all. Kalyani, any specific number you have, or you're happy with 20 lakhs or 18 lakhs?
Yeah, that should be fine.
That should be fine. Very good. And fifth is now sixth record, and let's go with Likita and 20 lakhs. Okay, and this is the seventh record. Seventh record, and then we'll go with Nanda, and let's go with the 40 lakhs. Fine. So now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to execute all at a time. Okay, I'm selecting it, and I'm executing this. Be already there, right? Okay, Alt X. Right. I can skill, I have to parse it, but okay, I know that like I'm just executing, guys. Okay. Now let's see the results now this time. Okay, select star from employee, right? I want to see. Now you can see total 7 records are there. Okay, B, Anila, Farooq, Gopi, Kalyani, Likita, and Nanda. So now let's try to filter it, guys. Let's try to filter the columns. Let's try to
Unstable internet connection.
Sorry, guys, is my audio clear? Any internet issues are there from my side?
No,
No,
sir.
no, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Farooq,
clear.
yeah, Farooq, just check it once. Okay, just try to rejoin in case if it is still having an issue. Fine. So now filtering is very important, guys. Filtering, you know, right? For example, when we are trying to do a shopping, maybe in the SGO, if you are trying to buy something, a t-shirt you want to buy, a shirt you want to buy, so it will be very difficult to search lakhs and lakhs of products. So it's always easy. So to filter it, you can filter based on the size, you can filter based on the color, you can filter based on the discount, you can filter based on the company name. Okay, so based on this you can apply a lot of filters, so that instead of 1 lakh products, instead of 2 lakh products, you can see that was limited to 500 products or 1000 products, so that it is easy to shop. So in the same way, when I executed this select query, you can see all the columns, and you can also see how many records are there. As of now, this is a small table, so you can see the number of records here. We have one more option here also. If we have maybe 1 million rows, if we have 1 million rows, you cannot go down and you cannot see that which one is the account number, which one is your employee ID. Okay, so in that scenario, if you execute select star from employee, you can see the number of records in this section. Number of records in this section. This is one way. There is one more function, count function is also there, select count star of your table name. And we can also check, go to the table properties. Okay, you can go to the table properties, and from there itself you can, let me minimize this. Right, okay, table properties. There, if you go to this storage section, there is a section called storage. Okay, in the table properties, you can see storage section. See row count. This also you can do. Okay, so like this also, you can see the number of records, guys, in a particular table. Now, if we have thousands of records or millions of records, if you are searching a specific record, okay, if we are searching a specific record, it's always important to filter the records. It can be a record, it can be a column. So now let's try to understand how to filter the records. Okay, so we can, if you want to filter the columns, you can simply mention select which column you want to filter, you want to see. Just type that column only, employee ID from table name employee. Okay, select, right guys, select, you can see here. Yeah, so select, what I have to do, I have to simply which column you want to retrieve, that column name, and then from employee, from the particular table name, I want to retrieve the employee ID of this table. Just I want to see the employee ID. Now this is where your temporary database will play a key role. So now can I execute this query, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so
Parse it first.
parse it. Okay, okay, very good, very good, very good. Parsed. Okay, it was successfully parsed. Now I'm executing now. Okay, fine. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
DB.
We need to select correct
Can change
database.
the database.
Database.
Forgot our
Sure.
concept. Okay, in 12 hours itself. Always before executing,
We can check the database.
always. So the database name and then execute it, guys. Now see, I can see only employee ID column. If I want to see employee ID comma employee name, two columns. Okay, employee ID comma employee name. You can just simply select from the drop down. See, I'm just selecting this line only. So only this line is going to be executed. See, but if you see this, okay, if you see this, I can see all the columns with my records and all. And if you see this, I can see only two columns or one column. So where this temporary table created, guys? Here you can see only one table. I don't have, this is also a table. This is also a table, but I have only one table. So when I run this query, I can see all the columns. Whereas when I run this query, I can see only two columns. That means, is it deleting the other two columns from the main table? If such case, if that is the scenario, how I am able to recover the four columns again? No, right? So what's happening exactly? So when you are running this command, it is going to create a temporary table in the temp DB, and that results you are getting, guys. You are getting this result from the temp DB. Okay, is it clear, guys? This is the temporary table. So now if my requirement is completed, finished, I'm going to close this session. So this temporary table, there is no use of this temporary table to me now. So this should be cleared. So that's why the processing and all will be done in the temp DB. So once your session is finished, the temporary tables will be deleted automatically. When I close this one, the temporary table will be deleted. Whatever temporary tables are created as part of this session will be deleted, guys. Are you getting the point? In the last session, the morning session, we discussed about the temp DB, right? This is how, this is just an example. Okay, this is just an example how the temp DB will play a key role in managing the things temporarily. So in what cases we'll get temporary results and all. This is the example, right? So like that, I want to see the third column also. What is the third column? Salary also. Like that, how many columns you want to see? You can simply add column names. If you add star, all columns, star means all. If you want to retrieve a specific column, type the column name, or column names, type the column names. Either it is a single column or it's a multiple columns, you can just keep adding that. So this is how you can filter the columns, guys. Is it clear, everyone? Everyone, is it clear?
Yes.
Filtering the columns.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's filter the records now. So now I want to see all the columns, all means star, from table name, employee. Now, if you want to filter the records, you have to use one condition called where condition. Where boss, on which condition you want to filter the records? Based on the color, based on the size of the shirt, based on the company, based on the discount, based on what? You can just filter it, right, while shopping in the Azure. So in the same way, I have millions of records. Imagine, yeah, I have millions of records. So in these millions of records, based on which condition you want to see the employees. You want to see employees from any specific location. You want to see the employees from any particular, like for a specific package salary. You want to see a particular person with the name, or any person you want to see with the employee ID. You can mention anything. Depends upon your requirement. Can be you want to see the results based on the employee ID. The others requirement can be they want to see all the salaries, or they want to see the salary greater than 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh. Or some of the users requirement can be, I want to get the list of all the employees from Hyderabad location. I want to list out all the employees from US. I want to list out all the employees from UK. So conditions will be changed. Okay, conditions will be changed. So select star from employee where. You can use any condition where employee ID I want to see 7. Okay, so now can I execute this query?
You have to pass and then you check the database.
Very good. Parsed successfully. Database name is correct and I can execute this now. See. But actually I have 7 records, but I can see only 1 record. I can see only 1 record.
Because you have selected only 7th, right?
Correct. That's where this is also a temporary table where it was created. That doesn't mean that, see, even though this is a big query, you can execute it, or else part of the query also you can execute it. Part of the query also you can execute it. When I execute select star from employee, I can see all the 7 records. When I execute the complete query, I can see a single record. But this is also coming from a table, right? So this also you can see in a table format, right? So where this table created, temporary table created, where it was created, guys? In your
MTP.
Okay, so like that, employee ID 5, or I want to see all the employee ID more than 4. Okay, employee ID more than 4, all text. See, 5, 6, 7. Or I want to see all the employees whose salaries. Tell me the condition, guys. Whose salary is more than
20
15 lakhs.
LPA.
Whose salary is more than 15 lakhs. Tell me the query, guys. Now, complete query I need. I want to see all the employees who is drawing the salary more than 15 lakhs.
Their salaries
When salary is greater than
greater than
15.
Salary greater than 15
That's
lakhs.
it. Very simple. Very simple. Salary. The column name you have to, again, column name is very, very important. So it will define the table, whatever the objects you created. So you give a specific column, right? That column only you have to give. Okay. So salary greater than 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs. Okay. So you can execute. You can parse it and you can execute it. Now you can see these are all the employees who are drawing more than 15 lakhs. Now open your chart. Okay, direct message to me. I want to see all the employees from US. I want to see all the employees from US. Type the query, guys. What query I have to run to see all the employees from US? Guys, as a DBA, we'll use only where condition, 99%. We don't use the other classes and all. Only where condition we'll use. Why? Because for reading the system related information and all, lot of sessions and all will be there. So we are going to like filter the records based on the where condition, guys. So where condition, it's a very simple. It's not a big deal. So where condition, you should be familiar with the where condition and all. So Harishankar, you asked right why we will go for custom schema. So we are going to group them together. So HR related any objects are there. It's not mandatory, but just management wise, organizing wise, it's good. Okay. So if you want to organize all the HR related tables, you can organize under HR schema. You want to organize all the management related, like the desk related information, how many workstations are there, power supply, cafeteria, so cleaning. Okay, all this information if you want to store, so management cab providing management related data you want to store in a specific schema, management schema you can create, maintenance schema you can create. So just it's a logical grouping. So instead of going for a default schema, if you just logically if you organized okay in a specific custom schemas, so performance wise it's okay, but it doesn't mean like if you create a schema performance will be improved, but the organization will be smooth. For that purpose we'll use custom schemas and all. Right, very good. I got 9 responses till now. What about others? We have around 22 participants. Try to respond, guys. It's very important. I know this is very basic query and some of you are already replied on the group chat, so you can even see and you can respond. Don't copy paste the answer, okay? At least type the answer, you will get it. Right? Select star. Star means all the columns from employee, okay? Where location is equal to, guys, remember whenever you are mentioning a character data, Kalyani, okay, and John, okay, B, whenever you are mentioning character related data, okay, so always you have to keep it in a single quotes. Character related data, names, locations, okay, directly if you give US it won't detect. You have to give in a single quotes, okay. So now if you execute it, you can just parse it before executing and then you can execute it. So only one employee is there, B from US. Okay, so like that if you want to see all the employees from UK, you can just mention UK and alt X Anila is there from UK. And if you want to see all the employees from India, you can mention India. And can I execute this, guys? Why I'm not getting?
You have selected
There's
IND.
full name.
Just
We can mention the
location
Sorry?
not matched.
Location not matched?
yes.
Right. See here, I just mentioned it as India. And here what I did, I am just searching with IND. There is no location with IND. Okay. So if you want to get it, you can use percentage symbol and all like that. You can just use it. But that is yeah, like operator and all you can use it. So now I'm giving completely India. Guys, no need to give kind of the same uppercase, lowercase and all. You can give in any case, either completely lowercase. As it is a case insensitive, if you remember, while executing the SQL server, the collation settings, case insensitive. So even though you give the conditional caps or small or anything, still you will get the data. So this is how you can see there are 4 employees from India, guys. Okay, and you want to see from Pakistan, okay, you can also see Control Z and just double click and okay, so you can just mention like this, guys, alt text. Okay, so you can see this is how it will work. Where condition is very, very important. Generally, we'll use where condition only on a regular basis, guys, to search the data, okay, based on the requirements, whatever conditions you have, using that conditions, we'll use where condition only, 99%. Other classes we are not going to discuss. This is more than enough for DBS, guys. Like regular basis, we'll use where conditions. to search the data related to our system tables and all. Right. So now, instead of changing the database name here every time, sometimes, okay, sometimes when developers are providing the script, they are going to provide with the different formats also. See, now here batch 57 is there. Can I execute this, guys? Alt-X, can I execute this? Definitely I'll get a invalid object name. Why? Because my object is created in the Amazon database, whereas I'm searching in the batch 57 database. It's like you just kept your bike keys in the hall and you're simply searching in the washroom. That's how it will be. So where you have to search, where you kept your bike keys, there only you have to search, right? Simply you are searching in all other rooms. You just left that hall. Okay, living, you just left that living and you are searching everywhere. So this is how it will be. You created your object in the Amazon, but you are searching the object in the batch 57. How it will come? No, right? So we can either change the database name here, okay, but sometimes what developers will do, guys, developers will also use, okay, they are going to use like this, use Amazon, okay, like this. Now this time you have to select both alt text. Now you can see the results. There is one more option also. Without using this also I can do, guys, I can comment it. If I want to comment any line, I can comment it by just adding two hyphen 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 hyphen. If you add hyphen hyphen, that is a comment. The line will be commented. The line will be commented. Means if you select also, for example, here I am selecting this, okay. If you select and run also, what it will happen, guys? See, still it will execute this only. This, it will skip this. It will skip these two. These two are like comments. Okay. So you select, for example, if you want to comment, see, lot of scripts are there, I mean to say lot of lines are there in this. You want to comment a specific line. If you comment, means that will not be executed. Even though you select and execute, that will not be executed, that will be skipped. So if you want to comment a specific single line, you can add hyphen hyphen. If you see any green color text, remember, in between the script, if you see any green color text, that is called comment. So no need to worry about the comment, even though it was selected, but still it is not going to be executed. If I want to comment multiple lines, guys, how can I comment multiple lines? If I want to comment one line, hyphen hyphen I can add. I want to comment some 100 lines. Every line I cannot add hyphen hyphen, right? Then
Start from a start.
very
Last
good.
one.
Forward slash
Very
forward
good.
slash
Very good. So here, for example, if I want to comment all these lines, still here I want to comment slash star and star slash. That's it. This query, whatever number of lines are there, will be commented. See, everything is converted into green color text. So now if I go and execute the whole text, how many records will be inserted? Tell me, guys. Now I'm executing this again. How many records will be inserted this time?
3, 2,
Only
3, 5, 6, 7.
Only 5, 6, 7 will be executed. Are you sure?
6, 7.
Are you sure?
Just scroll up. I can't see.
Okay, now you can see, right? Now tell me, guys. Okay, I want to see how attention you are paying.
The insert line also it is commented, right? So
That's
how can
right.
it will be inserted inside?
So now it will throw the error stating that, okay, as there is a incorrect syntax, or it will execute 6, 7 records. Tell me, guys, now. Is it going to throw an
6,
error
7.
that incorrect syntax? Why? Because we just left this insert statement and the record is selected. So this is actually an incorrect statement. You have to give the complete line. Insert into and complete line you have to give. Now this is, the one line is commented and the other line is not commented. So in this scenario, is it going to throw an error which is incorrect syntax, or it will execute 6, 7 records? It will insert 6 and 7 records. Incorrect? So let's see, guys, now. Okay, execute it. So now what you can see? Incorrect syntax. Now let's go and check in the table. Let's see what is there in the table. Tell me, guys, how many records will be there now? Is it a 7 or
I think
9?
6 and 7 will be
7 or
executed.
7 or 9?
7, 7.
7 or 9? 7 or 9?
6, 7 will be executed.
You know, right, why I am saying 9? I hope you understood, right? See, only if still this is skipped and these two records are inserted, already 7 records are there, 7 plus 2, it will be 9. I mean to say, that is how I am asking 9. So now tell me, now if I execute select star from employee, I can see 7 records or 9 records.
7 records.
7 records only.
Are you sure, Pakka?
Because the previous 2 records already available.
7 records, you can see here. Okay, why? Because the line is blocking, guys. Okay, the line is blocking, so that's why it's just stopped here only. Okay, and you cannot see the other records and all. The other records and all is not executed. This is how it will be, guys. This is how it will be. So now, for example, without changing the data, any questions here, guys, so far? Any questions, doubts? So now you know, right, how to comment, how the comment look likes in the script, how to comment a single line, how to comment a multiple lines. So when developers are, when they gave the script, sometimes you can see lot of comments, lot of lines will be commented. So that is expected. Don't remove the comments and all. They want to execute the lines. Okay, they just commented some of the lines and they want to execute the other part of the query. So just don't ask them, simply execute it in case if any comments are there. Now I can remove these comments by just removing this and by just removing this. Fine. So now here I can execute use database name and I can execute this alt X. I can see the record. Apart from this, okay, I can also either I can change the database name here one way, or I can use this command use database name second way. Is there any third way, guys, to get the results from a table or to represent the table? See, now I just mentioned it as batch 57. If I execute the single line, am I going to get the results? No, it will simply tell you that invalid object name. Now, without selecting these two lines, I have to get the results, guys. By just selecting this single line, I have to get the output. Tell me what I have to do. You got my point, right? Without changing the database name here, without executing this command here, still with a single line, I have to get the output. I have to get Farooq record. What modifications we have to do to this query?
We can mention table
Select
database name.
Select
into old database name and new
old
database.
I'm asking about table. You are saying database name.
Select star from
Amazon.employee.
Very good. Very good. Guys, when I ask your name, how the name will be represented legally? You will have your family name, then your name. For example, if you want to get the letter or if you want to get any parcel to your home, you have to mention your country, mention your state, you have to mention your city, you have to mention your street, you have to mention your area, you have to mention your building name, you have to mention your flat number and your name, of course. So that is how it will be reached. Then only if you have complete address, then only the parcel is going to be reached. So in the same way, without using this database name or by selecting this database name, sometimes developers will also write like this. Okay, how they will write? Database name dot schema name dot your table name. Okay, so in this scenario, even though batch 57 is selected, I can still execute alt X. I can still get the data. How I am getting, guys? Because I mentioned the database name dot schema name dot table name. Are you getting the point, guys? Database name. This is how sometimes developers will write the queries like this also. So you cannot ask why it is showing an error kind of thing, why they mention like this, what is this part, what is this part and all. If you can see three names, three parts, first part is your database name, second part is your schema name, third part is your table name. Clear, guys, everyone?
Will schema name be always same, huh?
Which one? Which one?
DBO schema name.
That
would be same for always, or it will change?
No. Schema name again depends on the requirements. Sometimes it can be a DBO, sometimes it can be a custom schema also. If it is HR related, then amazon.hr.employee. I'll show you, I'll restore AdventureWorks system sample database. There you can see multiple schemas.
Okay.
I'll show you. Okay, guys, and still there is another way also. Some developers also. Yeah, Hari, your voice is breaking, please.
Actually, when you are keeping your cursor on amazon.db, it's showing invalid object name.
Correct. It will tell like that only. Why? Because the database is different database is selected here, and you can see actually this session is opened from batch 57. Okay, this session is open from batch 57, and when you are running this command in the batch 57, there is no table, right? There is no such table, right? That's why it is showing invalid object name. But SQL Server will identify. Okay, it's an intelligent processing, and it is going to be identify. Okay, this is database name, schema name, and table name, so it is going to execute. Even though it is showing invalid object name because you opened a session from batch 57 and you are searching for employee table, so that's why it is showing invalid object name. That doesn't mean it's actually an invalid object name. Okay.
Oh, can we skip the schema name here?
We
like
can skip the
amazon.employee,
schema name
can
also. We can skip the schema name also if it is a default schema. Okay, if it is a custom schema, you cannot skip it. Sometimes developer also will write like this. Okay, this is also correct, guys. See, I'm executing all text. You'll still get it. Why? Because if it is a default schema, no need to mention DBO. If it's a custom schema, you have to mention. If it's a default schema, why? Because lot of developers, they will write different logics and all different ways. See, working style will be different, right? When compared to your working style will be different, my working style will be different. So some developers will write database name dot schema name dot table name. Some developers will write use database and then table name. Some developers will write database name dot schema name if it is a default schema. So if you see like this also, don't worry. You have to understood like, okay, there is a default schema, from there they are getting the data. So if you see here, I am executing, still I'll get it. As it is a default schema, no need to mention. You can simply skip it, database name dot table name. Okay, if it is a default schema, yes, you can skip it. If it's a custom schema, you have to mention it. You cannot skip it.
Okay.
Clear, guys?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, Farooq.
So far, it's fine. It's okay. What is the role of TempDB? You earlier mentioned, sir. If you can repeat it?
That's
Here,
what, see, that
in this exercise.
in this scenario, based on my condition, I have to get this data. When I can get the data, tell me, Farooq. Generally, if you want to give some money to me, when you can give the money? If you have the money, then only you can give it to me, right?
Yes, sir.
So I want to get the data. This is my record, 3 Farooq 30 lakhs Pakistan. Okay. I want to get it, but my main table, it hasn't to be disturbed. The records and all should be same. The main table, see, when you apply some filters in the online shopping, when you remove the filters, you can see all the objects. If you don't apply the filters, you can see 100 objects. If you apply the filters, you can see 10 objects. Does it mean the remaining 90 objects are deleted from the website?
Okay.
Is it like that? Not right, right? You are just applying the filters. So when I apply the filters, definitely I'll get the temporary data, right? Where this temporary data will be stored, where this temporary table will be stored. It cannot be
In
stored in
TempDB.
your database. In your regular database, it cannot be stored. If it was stored in the regular database, again, lot of tables will be created like that. Why? Because we'll use in many ways. Now itself, we use it with multiple combinations. Okay, with the location, with the salary we searched, with the location we searched, with the employee ID we searched, with the name we searched. So lot of tables will be created, and of course tomorrow my assignment will be different. So I'll use different where condition. So every time if it is creating a permanent object, it will create a problem. So that's why I need a temporary object. This will be created in the tempdb. So that is the role of tempdb in creating the temporary objects. So if my work is finished, I'll close this session. This temporary table will be deleted from the tempdb. So that is how the tempdb will be reusable.
Okay, sir.
Clear, guys? Questions, doubts so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
Shanmugh.
okay. So if you want to create objects in the GUI, very simple, right click on the tables. You can still create the objects using GUI also, new and a table. Here you can see an option. It will give you like this time we'll create a student table. Okay, student ID. You can see here how many data types are there. See, if you select here and if you see the drop down, see how many, these are all data types. Int, big int, binary, bit, char, date time, offset. Okay, and decimal, float, geography, and geometry, hierarchy, ID, image, int, money, nchar, ntext, numeric, nvarchar max. Okay, real, small. We don't need to remember all these things, guys. Not required. We are not developers again. Okay, so I just simply want integer. I'm just typing integer. That's it. My second column is student name. Okay, of course it will be varchar of 50 or 100, whatever you want. Okay, and what other things will we can track it? Student name and maybe marks. Okay, marks also, like you can go with the float, something like that. Now I'm just creating this table, and you can just click on this save button. It will give you this pop-up. You can name this table student table and click OK. Done. That's it. Your table is created. Select tables and refresh it. You can see the student table. You want to insert the records, right click, edit table 200 rows. Select this. See, earlier we just discussed how to do it using query. Now we are discussing how to do it using GUI way, guys. Okay, now first record, student name, maybe Hari. Sorry, Hari. Okay, maybe something like 600 marks. And second record, Kadir. Okay, 650 marks. And third record, like that you can keep on adding Sampath and maybe 630 marks. So like that you can just simply close it. And if you want to read the data using GUI, right click, select top 1000 rows, will give you, okay, the 1000 rows, guys. Of course, we don't have 1000 rows, we have only 3 rows. Up to 1000 rows it will show you the data. So this is how GUI way, this is the GUI way of creating the objects, inserting the records, reading the data. Earlier we discussed using queries, right? This is the GUI way. Okay, right click, new object, new table, and right click, edit top 200 rows, and right click, select top 1000 rows. Okay, this is how you have to do. Maybe if you are not comfortable with the query, you can still use this GUI options also, guys. Is it clear now, everyone?
Yes.
Shanmugh, I have a doubt, Shanmugh.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, in the morning session, you have said that while inserting it into the record, you can skip 1 or 2 values, right?
We can do that. We can do that. That is the assignment. Try it and let me know tomorrow. Very simple statement will be.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Just do some homework. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll show you. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, so we can see available schemas, right? Like number of schemas which are available, so we can see it in the
See, we can do
table.
anything using the custom scripts, Kalyani. If you want, see, you can see generally if you expand this database and if you expand this particular database and tables, you can see multiple schemas and all. If you want to see a distinct schemas, or if you want to see all the schemas, or if you want to count the schemas, there are a lot of custom scripts are there. You can simply go to that Google, you can just type it, okay, command to see the schemas in the database. Just type it, you'll get a script, just copy paste here, you'll get the schema information and all, how many schemas are there, what are the table, what are the schema names and all, everything you can see. See, everything is possible using command, but you might not, of course, we don't know the command. So you have to Google it, you have to get it and try to understand what it is doing. Don't blindly go and execute the script from the Google. You can see it, what it is, where it is pulling, from which system database it is pulling, which system view it is pulling and all. You can see, just do a homework and you can see a lot of information. See, anything is possible using query, guys. Whatever is your
Is there
requirement.
any Yeah, any GUI way is there to
No.
see the schemas?
I don't remember anything, but command weight is possible. But to see normal schemas you can see by just expanding. But imagine the next question will be, Shanmukh, if I have 100 tables, if I have 100 schemas, how can I see? Right. Normally, if you expand these tables, you can see the first part is schema only. You can see all the schemas. But what if your list is exceeding this object explorer? Correct? So
Oh, yeah, but if we get the request to like want the grant access for the like read access for some of the schemas, then how we can do?
that will be comes under security. Okay. Under security will be discussed. Access part will be security.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Shanmugh,
Yes, B.
can you try to relate what you're doing here to what is going on with the log files and the data files, please? I'm trying to understand how, when you run your query here, what is going behind scenes.
That is a different part B. Okay, when you run a query, what happens behind the scenes and all, that is maybe in the performance.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. We'll discuss in the performance tuning. Okay, I'll give you a gist how it will work. And you know, right, how log file will work, how data file will work now. You have an idea, right? So during
Yeah, I know.
yeah, we might we'll be discussed based on that availability and all. So when exactly run the query, what will happen in the back end, how select query will run, everything will be discussed. Okay, that will be covered under performance tuning. Lot of other things you should know before that. That's why. Okay, some of the things will be discussed later only. Fine, guys. Are we good? Any questions, doubts so far?
Sir?
Yes.
Beside the other activities of a DBA, it also includes to execute the different scripts provided by the developers. But the DBA don't have to deal with the script, just they have to execute it. And in order to understand the queries, I think the DBA job is will be restricted to the queries that are purely related to the database, like querying the database structure, performance tuning objects, and other like this stuff. Isn't true, sir?
No, nothing like that. Nothing. See, boss, you are the owner. Okay. Other than developers, also you have a lot of privileges to check everything. The thing is, we don't know, and it's not our headache. Okay, so our headache, our business is completely different. You will not even get enough time to look into your business itself. So that is like with your interest. If you want to see, that is still possible. No one is going to restrict us. We are going to restrict everyone. We can even restrict CEO also to not to access any object. We are the DBAs. We have to give the access to the CEO also in case if he wants to see the object. So no one is going to designing part. We are not. Okay, we will not be part of that discussion. Okay, where developers and application team will be decided. But once they designed, everything will be created under our control. Everything will be under our control. We can see everything, nothing like that. We are not going to be restricted from any of the things from the database perspective. Okay, discussions wise or designing wise, we may not be part of that particular, what I can say, team. But as a DBA backend, will always have the access for everything. But we don't know. You need, in case if you want to get the your own information and all, you have to depends on custom scripts. And we don't know if we run this script, what will happen and all, we don't know. So it's a kind of a applying common sense. That's it for it. So it's not like no one is going to restrict you. Right. Chalo guys, any other questions you have? Okay, fine. So if no questions, okay, so we'll go for a break, and after 15 minutes, so what we can do, we'll start the patching, guys. Okay, patching process and all. Directly will not patch the servers. We first discuss about the patching process, and then it will continue. Okay, I'll be back after 15 minutes, guys.